You're sitting across from her at a coffee shop. She's smiling. She's laughing. She's touching your arm just enough to keep your hope alive. And somehow, deep down, you already know what's coming before she says it. You're such a great guy. There it is, that sentence. Soft voice, kind eyes, and still it lands like a door quietly locking. And your mind starts racing. What did I do wrong? Why does this keep happening? Why do women open up to me but never choose me? Am I too nice? Am I not enough? Am I just the guy they heal with before they date someone else? Here's the truth most men never hear. You do not get stuck in the friend zone because you care too much. You get stuck there because your care has no clear direction, no grounded confidence, and no romantic tension beneath it. And no, bro, that does not mean you need to become cold. It does not mean you need games. It does not mean you need to stop being genuine. You're not failing at love. You're not broken. And this is not proof that women only want toxic men. It usually means you're sending signals of emotional safety without any signals of masculine clarity. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the 7 mistakes that quietly push men into the friend zone, what women are actually feeling beneath the surface when it happens, and how to stop becoming the guy she leans on while choosing someone else. Let's get into it. Most men believe attraction is about being good enough to deserve a chance. But the real truth is, attraction is about how someone feels in your presence before they can even explain why. Her nervous system is reading you long before her conscious mind turns that feeling into words. She is not just asking, is he kind? She is also asking, often without realizing it, do I feel direction here? Do I feel polarity? Do I feel that this man knows what he wants and is emotionally available enough to stand in it? That's the part most people miss. They think the friend zone is a punishment for being nice. It's not. It's what happens when emotional availability gets separated from romantic intention. When safety is there, but spark is not. When care is there, but clarity is missing. When you keep turning toward her emotionally while hiding the very truth that would allow real connection to either deepen or end honestly. And here's what changes everything. A lot of the behaviors that men think make them more attractive actually make them feel less real, more edited, more hesitant, more afraid of loss before anything has even begun. And people can feel that. Not because women have some magic power, but because humans are built to detect congruence. Your words say one thing, your energy says another, your timing says another. And beneath the surface, she feels the mismatch. So if you've been stuck in this cycle, this video is not about becoming manipulative, not colder, not harder to read, not emotionally unavailable, but more honest, more grounded, more present, more willing to risk a clear answer instead of hiding inside an unclear dynamic. Nice without direction. Most couples never start as couples because most people in relationships in the making confuse warmth with leadership. A lot of men think if they are kind enough, available enough, patient enough, eventually she will connect the dots and realize he's the one. But the deeper truth is that kindness without romantic direction often gets filed under emotional comfort, not desire. She feels safe with you. She trusts you. She opens up. But her nervous system is not registering movement. It's registering maintenance. And maintenance does not create momentum. So what happens? You become the guy who is always there, always supportive, always easy to talk to, but never fully expressed, never clear, never risking anything. And beneath the surface, she feels, I know how he feels around me, but I don't know if he's actually going to lead this anywhere. That uncertainty does not create anticipation. It creates a flat line. You can hear it in the difference. The disconnecting version sounds like this. Yeah, whatever you want to do is fine. I'm cool with anything. I just like hanging out with you. The connecting version sounds like this. I like being around you. Let me take you out Friday night. Just us. Same man, same interest, completely different energy. One feels passive. One feels intentional. And when you learn that difference, you stop becoming the emotional background music in her life and start becoming someone she can actually feel. Hiding your desire behind endless friendship. Here's the part no one talks about. Most men do not get friend-zoned at the moment they express interest. They get friend-zoned in the long stretch before that. when they bury attraction under months of ambiguity and call it patience. Most people in relationships think more time automatically creates more closeness. But if the emotional frame is friendship for too long, the nervous system adapts to that frame. Familiarity deepens, comfort grows, but romantic tension often goes underground and stays there. This is why waiting too long hurts so much. Because by the time you finally say something, you're not just sharing interest. You're trying to change the meaning of the entire connection in one conversation. And for her, that can feel jarring. Not because your feelings are wrong, but because internally she's thinking, wait, this whole time, was this heading somewhere I didn't know we were going? That's where walls go up. The disconnecting version sounds like this. Months of late-night texting, constant availability, emotional support, and then suddenly, so I've kind of liked you for a while. The connecting version sounds like this. Early on, after real mutual rapport, I'm enjoying this, and I'm not really looking for a pen pal dynamic. I'd rather take you on a proper date. That is not pressure. That is clarity. And when you do that, you give the connection a chance to become real before it gets buried under unspoken expectations. Making her your center too fast. This is where it gets really interesting. Most people in relationships think devotion proves depth. But the real truth is, premature devotion often signals anxiety, not grounded connection. When you barely know her and she already feels like the emotional center of your week, your attention stops feeling spacious and starts feeling heavy. Not because caring is bad, but because too much investment before enough reality creates pressure she did not agree to carry. Your nervous system can get attached to possibility long before there is actual mutual choosing. That is especially true if you are craving connection, healing from rejection, or starving for affirmation. So you start overfunctioning, overtexting, overhelping, rearranging your life, becoming hyper-attuned to every reply. And what she feels beneath the surface is not, wow, I'm so valued. It is often, this feels like a lot. I don't even know if he sees me clearly yet. Not love, not commitment, not deep intimacy. Just projection wearing the clothes of loyalty. The disconnecting version sounds like this. I canceled my plans because I wanted to be available if you needed anything. The connecting version sounds like this. I've got a full week, but I want to see you Thursday. Let's make it happen. One says, my life bends around your presence. The other says, I value you, and I also value myself. That difference matters, because when you stop placing her on a pedestal, you finally create space for her to meet the real you, instead of being trapped inside your fantasy of her, becoming her therapist instead of her romantic equal. A lot of men think emotional availability means being the container for all of her pain all the time. And yes, emotional presence matters, deeply. But most couples and most people in relationships do not realize there is a huge difference between connection and emotional caretaking. If every interaction becomes you listening, validating, rescuing, reassuring, and helping her process other men, other wounds, other confusion, then the dynamic slowly shifts. You are no longer a possible romantic counterpart. You are becoming the safe place she visits while her desire lives somewhere else. And here's why it happens. When your identity becomes the guy who understands her better than anyone, you can start unconsciously earning closeness through usefulness. You are not just present, you are performing value. Her nervous system feels supported, yes, but it may not feel challenged, met, or romantically engaged. Internally, part of her may be thinking, he is such a safe space. And another part is quietly adding, but I don't feel that pull. You can hear the difference in language. The disconnecting version sounds like this. Tell me everything. I'm always here. You deserve better. I'd never do that to you. The connecting version sounds like this. I care about you, but I'm not here to help you process another guy while hiding what I actually want with you. That is not cruel. That is self-respect. And that shift changes the emotional temperature completely. Because now you are no longer auditioning for love through service. You are showing up as someone capable of mutual connection. Avoiding risk so you never face rejection. And this is the one most men never figure out. Most people in relationships say they want honesty, but then build entire patterns around avoiding the moment honesty would cost them something. A lot of men stay in half connections because ambiguity feels safer than rejection. If you never clearly make a move, never state your interest, never define the energy, then technically you never lose. But here's the cost. You never really enter the relationship arena either. You stay emotionally close enough to hope, but far enough to hide. That is exhausting. It creates cycles. It creates drift. It creates that awful middle ground where nothing is happening, but your whole inner world is wrapped around it anyway. And her nervous system can feel that hesitation. Not in a villainous way, in a human way. Something in her reads, he wants something, but he won't stand in it. And confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is emotional congruence. The disconnecting version sounds like this: jokingly flirting for months, never escalating, then pulling back when she mentions another guy. The connecting version sounds like this: I'm attracted to you. If you're open to it, I'd like to take you out. If not, I respect that, and I'll adjust accordingly. Clean, direct, real. And when you become a man who can tolerate the truth more than the fantasy, you stop living in the gray zone where resentment grows behind a smile. Thinking attraction is built by approval. But here's what nobody explains. Most men who get stuck in the friend zone are trying so hard to be liked that they never let themselves be fully known. Most couples, or almost couples, get trapped here because approval feels safer than authenticity. So you agree too much, you soften every edge, you laugh at everything, you never disagree, you never challenge, you never reveal a strong preference that might create friction. And at first, that can make things feel smooth, easy, pleasant. But smooth is not the same as alive. Attraction needs truth, not rudeness, not domination, not performative alpha nonsense, but a real person. A man with opinions, boundaries, timing, texture. Someone whose presence has shape. Because when every response is engineered to keep the peace, the connection starts to feel emotionally airbrushed. And what she feels, even if she cannot name it, is, I still don't know where he really is. Here's the internal monologue that often goes unspoken. He's sweet, but I can't feel him. The disconnecting version sounds like this. No, yeah, whatever you want is perfect. I'm down for anything. Totally up to you. The connecting version sounds like this. I'm not really into that spot. Let's go somewhere with better energy. You'll like this place. One is approval seeking. The other is presence. And when you stop trying to win her by being endlessly agreeable, the walls between politeness and real chemistry start to come down. Staying after she has already told you no. This one is hard. Honestly, this is the mistake that wounds men the deepest because it does not look like a mistake at first. It looks like loyalty, hope, patience. But most people in relationships, or one-sided situationships, do themselves the most damage when they refuse to believe clear information because they are attached to a different outcome. If she has told you she just wants friendship, and you stay emotionally invested while pretending you are okay with that, you are no longer building connection. You are building quiet self-abandonment. And your nervous system knows it. That is why you feel anxious when she texts someone else back faster. That is why you overanalyze every small sign. That is why you feel withdrawn, resentful, and ashamed all at once. Because part of you is saying, maybe if I stay long enough, she'll see me. But another part is whispering, I am betraying myself in real time. Not patience, not maturity, not proof of deeper love. Just a man postponing his own healing because hope feels easier than grief. The disconnecting version sounds like this. Of course, I'm totally fine being friends, while secretly waiting, orbiting, and hurting. The connecting version sounds like this. I respect your honesty, but I want more than friendship, so I need some space. That's what's healthiest for me. That sentence can change your life, bro. Because when you do that, you stop teaching yourself that your feelings only matter if someone else returns them. And that is the shift that turns you from emotionally dependent to emotionally solid. So if you've seen yourself in these mistakes, good. Not because it feels good, but because awareness is where the cycle breaks. This is not about blaming yourself for every woman who did not choose you. And it is not about becoming colder, harder, or less emotionally available. It is about becoming clearer, more grounded, more honest in your presence. Because the man who stops getting stuck in the friend zone is not the man who learns tricks. It's the man who stops hiding. The man who can express desire without collapsing into need. The man who can offer safety without losing direction. The man who can hear no without losing himself. That's a different kind of strength. Quiet strength. Real strength. These are not tips for getting picked. They are the beginning of becoming the kind of partner who no longer confuses self-abandonment with love. When you internalize this, you stop performing connection and start creating it. And she will feel that difference before you even say a word. If this hits something real in you, take that seriously. Let it change how you show up. And if you want more of this kind of honest conversation about attraction, connection, and the patterns beneath the surface, make sure you're here for the next one. Because the moment you stop trying to be chosen at the cost of yourself is the moment you become impossible to place anywhere you don't belong.